So you're trying to improve your damage. Well, thankfully I have 3 tips for you that'll increase your damage right away and make those damage numbers seem like they're actually doing something instead of tickling the enemy. So to jump right into this, the first step, or tip I could say, is your relics. Obviously, these play a lot into how much damage you do. Your relics are literally your backbone into being able to do anything when it comes to damage, living, defense, crit damage, anything, any stat you want is going to come from your relics mostly. But one relic specifically is going to be your hands. Now your hands are always going to have a base flat attack stat on any kind of gloves you get. You know, your hands, always going to be flat attack. And with this, you may think, oh, well, Zephyr, it's just 200 damage, right? Like, it can't be that detrimental to my damage, right? I mean, obviously, I want to worry about my chest piece, you know? I could have even more attack here with 24%, or maybe something with a crit rate, you know? Maybe I can have even more damage that way, which is very wrong. Your hands or your gloves base flat damage is detrimental to how much you do. Since this base attack is free, first of all, it's absolutely free. You're gonna need to build this anyways. And seeing as how all of your relics need to be upgraded, it's really stupid to not upgrade it. And even that, you could get lucky, but you could get even more attack with your percentage, or maybe you get some crit rate, some crit damage. So not only are relics important, obviously, but your flat attack or your gloves are huge. Again, because let's go see. Right now, I'm at 1,500. Almost flat. Missed it by 1. If I were to take off these relics, or at least my hands, I'm going to what? 1246. That is a huge amount of damage lost. Just because I don't want to upgrade, or I don't focus on upgrading my gloves. So what I'm saying here is, make sure whenever you're starting to upgrade your relics, or you get new ones, always make sure to either upgrade your gloves first, or upgrade it second if you pull some god roll, like, I don't know, like a crit rate body with, you know, crit damage and more crit rate and attack, and, you know, vice versa, or, you know, whatever it has to do. So just make sure you do not neglect your relics, and mostly your hands. The next tip is something even I neglected for a long time, thinking that they weren't that good until I actually started using them. Then I realized just how cracked out this actually is your techniques. Now, obviously, for example, with Sela here, she can turn invisible, meaning that I can go by this enemy, which would normally, you know, aggro on me, but since I'm in this state, they just pay no mind to me. And also, within her state, if you attack, you start off in her enraged or, you know, buffed up state. And so with that, you're getting what is pretty much something you would only get on kill with her right off at the beginning of the battle, which means you're getting her full damage potential right off the bat, which is huge, by the way. Another example is actually Himiko. Her technique gives it to where enemies will take 10% more damage to fire for 2 turns. Meaning that, let's say an enemy is already weak to fire, like these thugs here, if you were to press E, they get the debuff, then hit them, they're taking a huge amount of fire damage just from you using a technique point outside of the battle. Now let's say I want to use an ult here and I decide to go with it. Now, stacking with the already weakness to it, plus the technique, you'll see that they get absolutely melted. What I'm trying to say is, please do not sleep on your techniques. They're absolutely massive for your damage and for your, you know, pre-setup before you go into a fight in terms of increasing your damage. Now the last one, again, something I'm also guilty of not doing, and I didn't realize just how good this is till I actually started reading what it actually does for you, but using food. Food is literally your best friend when it comes to loading yourself up before a big fight, or, you know, let's say a story boss or anything like that. For example, the kinetic arm, it gives you 325 attack to all allies, which right now 325 attack is a whole fully upgraded, you know, artifact at this point, and even more with 12% increased crit rate. Again, that is like half of a 4-star relic to crit rate. So what I'm saying is, food is absolutely massive, giving you buffs that are literally on par to having another set of a couple relics, just for the price of, you know, playing the game and, you know, grinding out materials and actually creating this stuff and finding the recipes around the world. And I'm sure there's even more cracked out ones out there even farther down the line, which is going to be absolutely huge for your damage. And with that, that's it. Let me know down below if you were aware of any of these tips and if you are using them or not. I know I'm guilty for not using techniques or food. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.